The North Creek pipeline was suddenly blown up, and although it is not clear who did it, there is one thing to be said about the quality of this pipeline, which can be very strong. The Nord Stream pipeline is a submarine gas transmission pipeline connecting Russia to Germany with two parallel pipelines, each of which is approximately 1,200 kilometers in length. One of them, Nord Stream I, was put into service in 2011 and cost about €6 billion to build the pipeline on its way and €8.8 billion for the offshore part. Russia delivered 59.2 billion cubic meters of gas to the EU through this pipeline in 2021, accounting for about one-third of the EU's gas imports from Russia, while Northwest 2, which will only be completed in 2021 at a total cost of €9.5 billion, is not yet operational but still has some gas sequestered in the pipeline. According to the design, Nord Stream 2 will be able to deliver 55 billion cubic meters of natural gas to the EU every year, which can be used by 26 million households. In other words, the Nord Stream pipeline is the lifeline of natural gas for the EU countries, and if it is damaged, the fact that Europe is frozen in winter is almost a certainty. Because of this, energy infrastructure such as the Nord Stream pipeline will be designed to be reliable at its foundation, with each pipeline consisting of approximately 100,000 concrete pipes with an average length of about 12.2 meters and weighing 24 tons, with an outer diameter of about 1,400 millimeters and an inner diameter of 1,153 millimeters. To withstand the tremendous undersea water pressure and the high pressure of the natural gas water being transported, the pipes have high compressive steel made with a yield strength of 450 MPa, which far exceeds that of ordinary steel, and a thickness of up to 41 millimeters. The interior has an anti-friction coating and the exterior has an anti-corrosion coating. The exterior coating resists corrosion from seawater, while the interior has a two-component epoxy resin flow coating consisting of a two-component epoxy resin flow coating that limits pressure drop by reducing friction, which allows for better flow of natural gas inside and reduces compression costs. Also, to prevent risks such as uplift and the pipeline is ventilated, a very thick reinforced concrete will be applied to the outer layer of the pipeline, the main material being iron or sand in the high distribution, which amounts to another layer of protection, and the pipeline will be buried in a trench dug in the sea floor during laying. With ocean currents and the passage of time, the sediment on the seabed will cover the pipeline and it will be buried mainly on the seabed of the Baltic Sea about 70 to 100 meters underwater. Therefore it is difficult for the general public to find the map in the sea without the laying of the pipeline. The pipeline is visible in stages means that there are several places to complete the connection at the bottom of the sea, while some parts have to be retrieved to connect at the sea surface in order to prevent seawater from filling in. In addition, the pipeline laying and welding are done by special ships, but also to build special docks, pipeline manufacturing plants and other costly duration of several years on such a strong and durable pipeline. Now has been found 4 leak points. According to the German investigation, the preliminary identification of the BAE pipeline leak is the result of a huge energy explosive device. The device is equivalent to 500 hectares of celestial bodies, such a large-scale explosives ordinary people simply impossible to obtain, not to mention the need to go into the water to implement this thing. In fact, the destruction of a submarine natural gas pipeline than the destruction of submarine fiber optic cable is much more difficult, and more difficult to repair. First of all, there is a leak of natural gas in the pipeline. Once the open flame, there is bound to be an explosion, whether it is a ship or an aircraft. There are sparks in the past to trigger the risk of explosion. People can have the past, but the tools and equipment cannot pass. Take a step back, even if the equipment in place, how to weld underwater repair, how to use electricity for equipment, how to protect the safety of personnel, etc. These are urgent issues to be resolved. Secondly, due to damage to the North Creek pipeline, seawater has been filled in, which is quite fast corrosion of the coating on the inner wall of the pipeline, if not carried out as soon as possible to repair the work, will inevitably affect the use of the normal pipeline behind, then it will be more difficult to repair. Want to completely repair a good is also a great expense, and technical requirements are also very high. But who will repair, who will pay? This is also more headache. That's it for today's video. Feel free to post comments and suggestions in the comments section. See you next time.